Hey guys, so last time, I guess, which was yesterday, Monday, we had a chance to discuss. This is our quiz. We had a chance to discuss the first four problems here. So we had a chance to discuss finding the slope, which was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We had a chance to graph the line from an equation, so come up with an equation that represented the graph. We had a chance to write an equation. So they gave us a graph and we wrote the equation. And then we got into point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we started creating lines actually, we were creating an equation based off a line, based off a point and a slope. So today, what I wanted to do, I was hoping that I could double tap like I do on my board, but that's all right. I can just do this. Today, what I wanted to do was I wanted to get into questions 5, 6, and 7. So we're going to deal some more with point slope form, and then we're going to get into parallel lines, which on our quiz was really one that kicked our butts a little bit. So let's start with number 5, guys. So, this is kind of like number 4. So if you remember number 4 from yesterday, number 4 and number 5, and again, forgive me for my writing. I'm using the pen. Since yesterday, I noticed that it was writing backwards. Thought this could work. So number 5 and number 4 and number 5 are kind of the same. We kind of see these are the same here. So check it out. Point slope form. That means we need to do y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Hey, I actually did that pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with myself. And we know this form is great whenever they give you a point and a slope. Well, guess what they give us? Our line passes through this point, x1 and y1, and has a slope of -1. So guess what? They gave us the points and they gave us the slope, and we are just going to plug m, x1, and y1 in to our equation. So we've got y minus, now be careful, y1 is a -8. So minus -8, that really becomes a plus 8 equals m. So that would be the slope, -1, parentheses, x minus a, and that x1's a normal 8, so we can just put that in like that. Yep. And let's see if we got that right, guys. Y, let's see if it'll take my answer. Y plus 8 equals -1, x minus 8. Yes, check it out. We got that. So look at the way they did it. They actually did this using slope-intercept form, and in my opinion, look at how much work this would be to do it this way. So I think we did it the right way. Look, all we had to do was just take the point they gave us and the slope they gave us. So this is a lot more work. I like our way. So I'm going to let you guys try this problem for me. You can pause the video and try this number 5. Okay, so here's our point that we pass through. Our line passes through x1, y1. Here's our slope. So we got a pretty downward spiraling negative slope here. That's kind of what our line looks like. So that's a pretty negative slope there. So we've got y minus y1, which is 5, equals our slope, -6, parentheses, x, minus -2. That's going to be a plus 2. Great 2, I know. And let's see if we got it, guys. Y minus 5 equals -6, x plus 2. Yep. And once again, look at all the work they had to do here. I like our way a lot more. We keep it simple. And there's our line, by the way. Look at how steep that slope is. My goodness. All right. So that was question number 5, guys. So today we're going to be looking at, by the way, we're going to be looking at question numbers 5, 6, and 7 today. So if you want to know kind of where we're going to be, we just looked at number 5. We're going to look at 6 and 7 next. So after I erase that, here we go. Number 6. Ooh, this one actually looks kind of similar based off the title. But man, we got to do a little bit more work, it looks like. So check it out. So we want to write the equation of the line that passes through those 2 points and then put our answer in fully reduced point slope form. So whenever I see point slope form, we know that's going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And the good news is they actually give us 2 points here. They give you 2 points to choose from. And let's see, which point would you guys like to go with? I always like to use smaller numbers. So I'm going to go with this point right here. You could choose either point. I want to remind you, either point works. Either point works. Look at this great handwriting. Either point could work. I'm going to go with this one. So that means -3 is my x1 and 7 is my y1. Ooh, now the problem is, I think there's a reason they gave us 2 points that our line passes through. We don't have the slope. We've got to get our slope. And so in order to get that slope, we know we need to use the slope formula if they give you 2 points. So that's going to be m equals, switch to nice pink here, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, but we called this second point x1, y1. Well, that's okay. Either of these points could be x1, y1. What matters is that we're consistent. So if this is x1, y1, that means this is going to be x2, y2. Consistency is what matters here. So if this is our first point, this could be our second point. So we've got y2, which would be 4, minus y1, which would be 7, over x2, which would be -8, minus x1, which would be, -3. Minus a negative would be +3. Okay. So 4 minus 7 gives you, that's -3 over -8 plus 3. -8 plus 3, that'd be a -5. And what's a negative divided by a negative? Well, shoot, that's a positive. We've got positive 3/5 here, and 3/5 does not reduce. So this is our slope. And then we said -3/7 is going to be our x1, y1. So we're going to have y minus, pull that 7 over, minus 7 equals our slope, 3/5, parentheses, x minus, x1's a -3, so that'd be +3. And so you guys can see where we got all 3 things here. y1, m, x1. And that would be our answer. So I'm going to let you guys try a new problem for me. You can pause the video if you need to get this down. Let's try a new problem here. Give you guys a chance to try this one. And so, really what's funny is the same thing's going to apply. You can just, I'm just going to erase my work that dealt with the specific answers, but really, it still kind of is the same if you wanted to go this route. But I'm going to let you guys choose. You don't have to do the same problem the exact same way. I'll let you choose what you want to use for x1, y1. Because honestly, I might use this first point for x1, y1 since it's kind of smaller. But go ahead, guys. Try. Remember, either point works, whichever point you want to use for x1 and y1. Go ahead and try this problem for me. And while you're working, I'm just going to rewrite the slope formula here if you need it. All right, so I'm going to go with 5 and 0 as my x1, y1. So y minus 0 equals my slope, which I've not yet found. M equals, this is x2, y2, so negative 1 minus y1, 0, over x2, negative 6, minus x1, which is 5. Negative 1 minus 0, that's a negative 1. Negative 6 minus 5, that's just going to give me a bigger negative. That's like 6 plus 5. That'd be negative 11. A negative divided by a negative means that's a positive 1 over 11. So that will go right here. Again, remember, we're just using this formula up top. Parentheses, x minus x1 is 5. And so that would be our answer there. All right, now last thing we're going to do today is problem number 7. Parallel equations. Now this one is tricky because you have to know something. You have to know what we know about parallel lines. And this is a day 8 problem. So those last two problems, guys, were more day 5, day 6. And then maybe a little bit of day 7, but mostly days 5 and 6. This problem is a day 8 problem. And we want to know which equation represents a line that is parallel to this line. Now, I want to remind you, or I want you to remind me, parallel lines, what kind of slope do they have? So parallel lines, what kind of slope? What's the relationship there? I'm going to give you a second to think about that. This says relationship, by the way. Well, parallel lines, guys, they have the same slope. That's why if you ever see two parallel lines, you see one line going like this, and you're going to see the other line looking real similar. The only difference is it's going through a different location. They have the same slope, though. The problem is we need to figure out, hey, what's the slope of this line? So we need to figure out the slope of this line right here. And the problem is right now, this line is written in standard form. So right now this line is in AX plus BY equals C. And that form doesn't tell us the slope. It's the only form actually that doesn't tell us the slope. We need slope-intercept form. That's going to be a form y equals mx plus b. That's going to be a form that'll tell us the slope. So here's the thing. How do we do that? Well, it looks like this equation is really close to that form. We just need to get y alone. And it's looking like there's only one thing over here. So here's y. We got a plus 2x beside it. How can we move that 2x to bring it over here? Because we know that X needs to be on the right side. Well, if it's a positive 2x, guys, you can just subtract 2x. 2x minus 2x, gone. But what you do to the left side, you got to do to the right side. So we got y equals, obviously negative 2x and negative 1 can't go together. So negative 2x goes out front. And then that is a negative 1. Well, shoot fire. Look at that. Y equals mx plus b. What's the slope? Looks like our slope is negative 2, or negative 2 over 1. So that means we need to look for an equation that has that same slope, but we need a different b. The b needs to be different. If the b is not different, you don't have parallel lines, you have the same line. So let's look. Negative 1/2 is this slope? Nope. Hey, negative 2 is the same. That's good. Same slope. And different y. There you go. That's our answer right there. Y equals negative 2x plus 1 will be a parallel line. So guys, be ready if you want to get this down. You're more than welcome to. I'm about to give you a new problem though, so make sure you get this down before I delete it and put up a new problem. Okay, so here is another equation, guys. We're going to see which equation represents a line that is parallel. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope to this line right here, y minus 3x equals 5. So this form actually, it's sort of backwards from standard form. The ax should be out front and the b should be in the back here. But that's okay, because we still need to get this into slope-intercept form. That's the key right here. Because if we can get this into y equals mx plus b, we're going to be able to tell what the slope is. It's just the number beside x. So I look at our problem here and I say, okay, I got to get y alone. And I'm going to give you guys a chance. Go ahead and try this problem for me. You can pause the video. Go ahead and try this problem. Okay, guys. So I said, if we got to get y by itself and there's a minus 3x there, let's add 3x. So y equals, those don't go together because that has an x and that doesn't. So 3x, and that's a positive 5, so plus 5. Our slope, the slope of this line, I'm sorry, is 3. And since our line needs to be parallel to this line, we know it needs to be the same slope. So if this slope's 3, our slope's 3. So that's out, and that's out. And we need to make sure we have a different b, a different y, which we do, plus 8 as compared to plus 5. So that's good. Slope's good. So we got our answer, guys. Thank you very much. And hopefully you kind of liked me being able to work through it like this, and you being able to work at home, because you don't have to write down as much, just the problem, these notes that we put out beside it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, let me know. Remember, Quiz Retake is this Thursday. So if you want to boost that score, this Thursday is the day. Thank you.